Now on the Mr. Intro channel, I've already talked about Cole Caulfield. I've already talked about the whole Montreal team. Yet I've still to talk about the guy that starts all the plays. The guy that puts it all into order as a conductor. And his name is none other than Nick Suzuki. Let's get into it. When Suzuki first came to the league, he was viewed as a smart, reliable player who could eventually become a solid top 6 forward. But what he's turned into is something much more valuable than that, and it's something that does not always show up clearly on stat sheets. Suzuki has developed into a system driver, not just a point producer, which is why his impact feels bigger than his numbers sometimes suggest. He's the player that connects plays, supports both ends of the ice, and makes everything feel more controlled when he's on the ice. Now what stands out immediately is when you watch Suzuki closely. You see how calm he is in situations where most players rush decisions. He does not always play at one speed, and he does not rely on pure explosiveness to create offense like some other top players do. Instead, he manipulates the pace of the game, which is a much rarer skill than just playing fast. He slows things down when needed, and speeds them up when there's an opening, and almost always makes the right read under pressure. That kind of control is what allows Montreal to actually run structured offense instead of just reacting to the game. A lot of people will look at Suzuki as just an offensive player, but that completely ignores one of the most important part of his game. He's consistent matched up against top players, takes on heavy defensive responsibility, and still manages to produce offensively. He might be one of the most complete two-way centers in the NHL right now, especially when you consider the workload that he takes on every single night. He tracks back hard, supports the defenseman low in the zone, and makes smart plays to exit the defensive zone clearly. That doesn't always get noticed, but this is exactly what stabilizes a young team like Montreal. Now this is where Suzuki's value really becomes clear when you look beyond the individual plays and you start looking at the bigger picture. Players who play with him tend to look more comfortable, more confident, and more effective within the system. Suzuki raises the floor of his teammates, which is the most important traits a true number 1 center can have. He puts players in better positions. He makes simple plays at the right time, and he does not force situations that are not there. That consistency allows younger players on Montreal to develop properly, instead of just being thrown into chaos. Now, Montreal has gone through roster changes, development phases, and inconsistency over the past few seasons, which makes it hard for any team to build real identity. But through all of that, Suzuki has been the one player who consistently plays the same way every single night. When your best player is the most reliable player, that sets a tone for the entire team. I'll see you guys in 2 days.